Welcome, divers, as we take this trip to the swamp for this exclusive interview with one of URL's innovative trash talkers, Mr. King Knunt himself, Swamp, who's known for his trash talking southern slang. Y'all came for the real and the authentic, and no other podcast.
The real but the diving.
So growing up in the swamp as a jit, tell the people like where everything started at.
Shit, like right out here on Foxborough Road. My grandma, me and my grandma always been like very close. I ain't like me and my mama. A lot of time we stayed with my grandma too. So like, my mom and my grandma is who raised me. A lot of times I was like rebellious. So like I come to my grandma like a lot of damn much did before. So like but my grandma like and my mama, they both stuck me. But like me and my grandma always had a tight bond. And I think it was just more so like people don't know like I was raised like Jehovah's Witness. So like my mama really don't play by that. She stand on that. So like anything going against that, like like she gonna try to help you, but after that, like my grandma more so like the middleman. She gonna give you the Bible, what the Bible say, but she gonna also give you that street, what's gonna really happen in the streets outside of the Bible.
So what you growing up as a Jehovah Witness, like how was it for like holidays with Christmas and stuff like that, being that your friends and family, other family members might have got Christmas and Jehovah's Witness usually don't celebrate it. Tell me a little bit about that.
Now like that was like really one of the hardest shits though, I ain't gonna lie. Cause you don't celebrate holidays, like none. So like in school, like you know how parents will throw like birthday parties and shit like that. I always have to like go sit in the office or something, or like go chill somewhere else, and when holiday shit going on or whatever. But I felt some type of way about it, as far as like why we can't partake of it. But I'm not gonna lie, like the older I got, I realized like it was like fake made up stuff. And then truth be told, like the person that I am when it come to my children, I want them to know like this day ain't really special. Like we get stuff all year round, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like and then when you do your research on a lot of the holidays, they are false or pagan religion and shit like that. So back then when I was young, I really didn't want to understand it. I ain't gonna say I ain't understand it. I really didn't want to understand it because, like I say, like those times was different. In school, everybody come back from Christmas break with all their shit, and you ain't got shit, or you ain't celebrate your birthday. It's just another day on the calendar. And like,
So you didn't have birthday parties as a kid?
hell no, boy. Nah, no holidays, no Christmas.
Not even a birthday cake?
Nah, no. But like,
So with your kids, like, do you give them any celebrate Christmas and stuff with them?
with their mothers being like family oriented and they gonna celebrate holidays, I don't knock it or whatever. I try to make something shake the way I have something on the table or whatever. But as for me picking them, I pull up for birthdays, bro. I'm gonna bring you a gift and shit like that. But as I say, I do that throughout the year, so you won't focus on that and think like, all right, this is the only important day or whatever. But I don't know. I don't take it all away from them. But the older they get, I'm gonna coach them and let them know how it is, though. To be real.
Swamp speaks highly of his grandma. We had a chance to sit down to meet her as well.
Everybody already know when I be rapping, I say my grandma this, my grandma that, my grandma this, my grandma that. This is my grandma Daisy that I'm always talking about. And so,
Nice to meet you, Grandma Daisy.
Nice to meet you guys.
Everybody always say grandma said in the honor of God. So y'all know, y'all finally get to meet her. But like
I stay on him.
this is
like
how
rice.
like I really was raised by her, and like this is like who never like left my side, like regardless of what happened. Don't get it misconstrued and act like I didn't have a mama or none of that. A lot of times I was rebellious, and like I ran to grandma. Cause grandma ain't gonna just give the Bible side, she gonna give the street side. Like I told y'all, she gonna tell you the real and the stuff that you wanna hear, but also the stuff that you don't wanna hear. I just know like where I came from. I know where I'm at. I know how I was raised, and like a lot of those principles I still live by. And you know, a lot of people will say, I talk about me growing up as Jehovah's Witness and why I this, that, and the third. It ain't got nothing to do with like my parenting. This is just me, stuff that I chose, but a lot of stuff I don't walk away from those principles. So when it comes to my kids, no, I don't trip on holidays, birthdays. I make sure they get it all year round. But at the same time, like, you always need somebody that ain't go leave, and like, that's why I always say my grandma did or my grandma dad in my music or my battles or my interviews or whatever. So like, y'all finally get it.
Now my grandma tried to stop me on the way out the door, telling me I can't believe you gonna miss service for a battle just to get on stage to prove who the lying fraud. I said, no ma'am. The Lord sent me on this mission. I'm on the way to Richmond to give honor to God.
Nice to meet you folks. He was, for one thing, he didn't like to keep on clothes. Took a picture of him in a tub, and he got out and he danced around. So he's always been energetic. He is smart and intelligent. His mannerism is to respect people. I've always taught him and his brother and the rest of my siblings, no matter where you go in life, no matter what you do, don't think that you're better than everybody. Always keep a positive attitude. Always respect people. Always know that there's something within you that you can offer to people, and you can be a role model. Don't down people. Don't disrespect people. Everybody have their different views and their different ways of doing things. But when it comes down to it, we're all one. We're all one big family, no matter what color we are. And Tayshawn, with his swamp, always talked about he'll never forget where he come from, what we instilled in him. My daughter and I are Jehovah's Witnesses, but we respect people's view of what they think and what they believe, because we were once there one at that particular time. So when we talk to people about the Bible, we don't try to carve it in their heads and their hearts. They have their own views. We just let them know that what the Bible holds out has a solution for all of us. But like I said, in right time, in due time, a lot of people have come out from their different places of religion, never forgetting where they come from, never forgetting the values of how they come up as Christians. But we always view the Bible as the last word, and we try to live by it. Now, Tayshawn is him and his brother, now don't forget that he has a good mom, and she loves them, but she wanted them to see for themselves by being hard-headed, as most young people can be, and in my time, in my day, kind of hard-headed. But she's always wanted them to go ahead and see for themselves. I didn't agree with that. So they went out on their own, searching for things, and some things should have been told to them before, and that what hurted them the most. And some things I don't agree on, but I still stick by, because I want him to be the best that he can be.
Those things, was it like dealing with his father and mother issues, like mother and father relationship, or?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I ain't no father relationship.
I and my daughter are their fathers. Most women today, I'm not saying all of them, they are two people in one. I've raised mine being a man and a woman with goals and values, and gave a woman, if she has to raise her boys, by herself with God's help, giving grace to Jehovah God. All things are due through him. But raising boys is kind of difficult for most women, if not all women. But we had that strong backbone or that interior of us. And with him, I didn't want to see him hurt. It hurted me to my heart, when he was trying to search for his other side and he couldn't find it. And I kept with him and I kept talking to him and I kept telling him, that's okay. We have your back. People have your back, you know.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. We in Walmart, I finally see who the nigga is or whatever. And so like, I ain't gonna lie, like, I kinda like, I ain't shy away from it, but I wasn't gonna make it important. Like, I'm gonna like, you hold your head up high and you look them in the face, and like, I really was just like trying to like detour from it. But like,
What age was you at this point?
About what, 16?
16.
About 15, 16.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
And I always told him, I said, look up, be proud of who you are.
I'm gonna tell y'all a funny ass story though. Like, before I even knew like who my pops was and shit like that. Really this how like my mama finally told me like who the nigga was type shit. So I'm in high school and like I knew Redbone come to the school. Everybody trying to holler at her, all that shit. So we end up swapping numbers, boom, 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 talking for a couple weeks and shit like that. Now it's time to go on a date and shit like that or whatever. And so I go to pick the little chick up and shit, pull up in the yard. We chillin' and shit for a second. Nigga come out the door. He was like, you ain't going with him and get the fuck out my yard and shit like that. So I'm like, damn, what's up with buddy? But like, that's her daddy. So like, I ain't playing like that. Come to find out, that's my daddy too. That's why he knew who the fuck I was. And he knew that my sister. Like, that was like how I found out who my sister was. Like, the crazy thing is like, that shit crazy as a motherfucker. That shit wild as hell. And that's how I found out who my daddy was. She ended up calling me the next day and after school and shit was like, he said he used to date your mama or some shit like that. We got the same daddy. I'm like, what the fuck? That shit crazy.
Love him because he's a good child. I love him. And the one thing I love about him the most, he's going to make sure that his children don't be in the situation that he has been in. This boy has hurt a lot, even his brother. Both of them have hurt a lot. One of the reasons why me and my daughter are not so close, but we fight real hard to have a relationship. But the thing I want for them is to have a good life. And he's doing that for his kids. One particular time he told me that his mom wasn't giving him answers, so he went out on his own to find some answers. And he went to this father's house. This father was married. He went on his own. I didn't know, I don't think she knew, but he wanted to find answers. He goes to the door, and he comes to the door, looks at him, and curses at him, and tells him to get off his steps.
His father cussed him out? His father cussed him out on the steps?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
So can you imagine? I know some children have had it worse than Tayshawn, but in any instant, I don't care whose child it is or who you are, and your personality. People may not like, but we're all human beings. The father could have, or he claimed he's not, he could have acted better than that. He should have been an adult and acted better than that, but he didn't. But in the long run, these two people are not together. They don't have the house that they have. Being above other people and looking down at people, one day you're going to be right there with everybody else.
At what age was he when he went knocked on his father's door?
He was in 18, 19.
Nope. That was like 17.
17.
Yeah. I think I was working, because I was at Food Line. That's when I was at Food Line, started bagging, I was bagging groceries at Food Line, and he came through the line then. I tried to say something to him, and he was like, I don't want him bagging my groceries. I didn't know. I think he had an idea then, because I think it might have been time to take a test or whatever, but like, back then, so like he knew seeing my face back then, like And like, I'll be honest, like that junk just,
He had his
Only-
family with him?
no, it was just him. Only thing, like, I'm not too prideful to say like I needed a daddy, but like to say like everything that in life when it comes to man decisions, I gamble. And a lot of times it's the wrong decision. But I bump my head,
And you
collect
get
my
up.
thoughts, and then I try another route, hit another wall, bump my head. But like if you got that father figure or some type of that right there or whatever, it's like, all right, as a man, you got to do this. Men got to do it this way. They could just teach like right from wrong.
Mhm.
That's just it. So like, that's it. And like somebody to go to as far as like this life to tell me about these females out here, to tell me about these streets, or tell me about, because like that's not what I was taught or brought up on. I jumped in the streets doing something. That is my decision. I never put it like, oh, my mama wasn't there, my grandma wasn't there. No, nigga. I
Well,
start doing a lot of stuff
You
for
did.
money too at the same time,
Right.
though, like to get some bread. But like at the same time, like I just, it's certain stuff where it was needed. But like now, I just make sure like I don't care. He know who I am. He know what's up. Like
I didn't know that part about he's going through the line, and he
yeah,
didn't want you to bag his clothes. You can imagine how that felt when people probably was around, maybe some of his other co-workers.
I had
or
got
whatever.
in trouble. I never forget that. I got in trouble in that because like I wasn't supposed to be driving. My grandma gave me a car in 9th grade. I ain't had no license or nothing. I was driving, and she told me to go to work and go straight home. But like they made a teen center next door to the food line. Shoot, I was dating. She found out about it too. My grandma sold me my first car for $50 or something like that. I had got a job at Food Line.
What about you?
What kind of car it was?
That Oldsmobile 88.
88 Oldsmobile?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me what I did tell you about your number.
Yeah. Bought Chevy 85. I ain't-
Go ahead, Grandma.
I ain't lying, bro. All them stuff.
As we know, Swamp speaks a lot about his 5 kids, 4 baby mothers, but Grandma Daisy had a message to single mothers.
With women and the young generation today, you don't argue. You don't argue with the man. You know, you got into things that you aware of that you saw in the beginning with. Talking and fussing and all. Number one comes the children. The children come first. I know your heart may hurt, but with me, I never did run my children's father down. Never at all. I took responsibility to go straight ahead. I didn't argue. I didn't fuss. And things will unfold. The person that has done wrong, they're gonna get what's coming to them. It just takes a little bit of time.
So what you say to those younger women these days who quick to put their baby fathers on child support? What do you say to those women?
First of all, you've got to establish some kind of communication. Each one has to take the fall for their mistakes in the relationship. You can't make anybody love you. Good bodies, beautiful hair, skin, and all that, that's a plus. But you don't push that on men. Be yourself. Be yourself. A lot of women has to make themselves known, makeup. I have on makeup myself. I'm 67, and I have on makeup, and I'm trying to be the best that I can be, even though I don't have a man in my life. The thing I tell the young women, be yourself. Quiet. You remember the what it was? These artists said that they had a woman that was quiet. One was quiet and one was Venus. I forgot the group in my daytime. And they said they pick out what type of women they like. This woman in particular, I'm pretty much like that. I'm quiet. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I'm fussing and I'm arguing. But when it comes down to a man and you get around a man, be yourself. But be quiet.
They still gonna put you
Don't
on child
display.
support. They gonna
Don't
put you on
display.
child support.
That if you put a man on child support and you don't know for sure, you might have had a relationship earlier and then getting with this particular person. You need to check yourself. You need to go and find out first before you condemn the man, even though he may have another woman in his life going off and left you.
What start you?
Hmm?
Your pride.
My pride. My
Right.
pride. My pride my mom, my aunt, Daisy, you need to go and take this man out for support. If that man don't meet me halfway, even if he said it ain't mine, if he don't, I got too much pride. I don't fuss, I don't argue. I go on with my life. And in due time, whether you wrong or that man's wrong, it's gonna come to the fold. So be dignified with your life. Accept that you have made mistakes, the man make mistakes. Don't run behind him, don't threaten him, don't have your family members want to fight him and all of that. All of this stuff is gonna come together. The main thing is the children. Find out exactly who the father is. And both should agree on that. Okay, I'll take the blood test. And let's see whose child it is. And stop arguing. Because that child is coming into this world. And they want to have both parents. So we gotta understand, you gotta come together even for that. Even if you hate one another, you gotta come together for that. You think about your children. You don't want them to grow up that way. You want to have some support for them. Even if you don't see the man again, let him be who he is. And he may come and do what he can do. He may have a change of heart.
So when Swamp was getting into battle rap, what was your first thoughts on it? Like when he tried to introduce it to you, like this is what he's going to do.
With Tayshawn and this venture that he's going on, me and him talk from time to time. I try to discourage him in a certain way, but I know this is something that is dear to his heart. He seems to love it. He seems to get a satisfaction out of it. Where void has been in his life, it helps him to speak what he feels, what he wants for the future, what he wants for people in his lyrics and his words. The only thing I don't like is the cursing, but that's the way y'all world is, even though we've cursed in our lifetime. But the only thing I worry about is him being hurt. You know, we have people in this world that don't like people to succeed, or they don't like people because of the way they look, the color, their mannerism and all that. And that's the only thing with people shooting and going on there. Every time you turn around and somebody shooting them, the way the world is today, that's the only thing I think about. But I know the way he acts, he's calm, cool, collective. He don't retaliate unless he have to. He tries to get around the situation, and he tries to tell all people that you are somebody and you can be somebody too.
Or else.